India's next. There are plans for a facility in India that are being developed right now. They're in the process of choosing a site for the facility. India, I expect to be announced before the end of the year.
Hey, I'm Steven and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. That was a bombshell and a half. Tesla India? Apparently. Now look, I don't have any evidence to back this up, just what I've heard from Craig Irwin there, but hey, he seems to believe that this is happening next. He seems to have some information that Tesla's looking for a factory or site somewhere in India, so there we go. My Patreon supporters actually asked me about this a few months ago, and I said there's no way Tesla's going to be moving into India next. Another factory in China will definitely be announced, and then probably another one in Europe before India. Maybe I'm wrong. What does Craig know that I don't? Maybe he's thinking solar factory? Don't really know. In either case, this type of rumor isn't likely to hurt Tesla stock, especially given the stock split occurred today and the stock's up around 10% as I record this, still during market hours. So let's see what Craig had to say on this historical day, Tesla's first and definitely not last stock split. But first, hey guys, if you're in the US and you'd like up to 2 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account and fund it with $100, you get 2 free stocks, one of them valued up to $1,400. The WeBull offer expires at the end of this month, August. Yes, it's your last chance to take advantage of the 2 free stocks offer. And if you're in Australia, the UK or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake using the link in the description. Let's get back to it. Well guys, the market has just closed. Tesla stock has officially reached an all-time high of almost $500 per share post-split. If this was pre-split, that'd be almost $2,500 a share. And I've got to get into the spirit of things. Tesla stock hits an all-time high. So do I. BRB. Yeah, I actually wasn't joking. All right, let's get into the video.
Tesla shares right now are trading higher. They're up almost a little bit over 9%. Want to talk about this with the panel. And let me start with Julia LaRoche. Why would Tesla, I get it. You get a stock split. The stock was on a tear over $2,000 a share. Why would it be up so dramatically today?
I actually can't give you a definitive answer as to why, other than when you have a split, you just have a lower entry point for more investors. But I honestly just can't tell you why.
I'm in the same boat, to be honest. I mean, I do understand that the fact that the stock is now split allows investors who did not have access to fractional shares and simply could not afford to buy a single share, now they can enter the stock. And the trading volumes are higher today, so in theory, many millions of these people now are in Tesla stock that weren't before. That could have had some contribution. But honestly, I really feel that simultaneously there's something else happening behind the scenes. Maybe there's institutional buying, something along these lines as well that's driving the stock forward, because the fundamentals have not changed. The stock split short makes it a little bit more accessible, but the numbers, I'm not really seeing any logic to the stock going up or down. Then again, I mean, it's a stock market. There's no logic over the short term. As they say, in the short term, the stock market is a voting machine. In the long term, it is a weighing machine. If you don't understand that quote, give it some time to settle in because it's an important one to understand.
You know, I think to jump on Julia's point here, when it comes to Tesla and Apple, it is interesting that both these large tech companies at the same time announced that they would be doing a stock split. I think what's interesting is that in this time and age, and we talked about this with Ryan just now, fractional trading really kind of reduces the need for this type of financial engineering, if you will, right? A lot of people on Robinhood or on even other types of platforms like TD Ameritrade, Schwab or whatever, they can get access to shares even if a Berkshire Hathaway, for example, is at a multi-thousand point level. You can just buy a certain fractional shares, leave it up to the brokerage to figure that out. I think this is really more about messaging. When a company divides its stock up, it's signaling to its investors that we could see this stock going back up in price again. That's why it's usually a trend that stocks that split tend to be multiple types of actions. At Apple, for example, splitting their stock today, this is far from the first time that they've done it. I believe this is the 5th time that they've done it in their company history. So something to be mindful of as we start to see these other types of large companies see their stock prices rise pretty quickly as well.
So let's bring into this discussion Craig Irwin from Roth Capital. He's an analyst at Roth Capital in New Jersey, and I just want to make sure that you unmute there, Craig, so that we can hear what you have to say, because a lot of people love Tesla. Why?
Oh, Tesla's just done an amazing job over the last several years, essentially single-handedly creating the category of EVs as a viable commercial product. And there's a real halo around the company and its aggressive adoption of technology. So they're the leaders. They are aggressive and moving much faster than the rest of the automotive industry, and literally years ahead of their next closest competitors.
Some extremely bullish comments there from Craig Irwin. Now, I might be hallucinating. If you haven't skipped ahead on the video, you'll understand why. But last I recall, 6-12 months ago, Craig Irwin wasn't saying these kind of things. Tesla is moving faster than anyone else. They're years ahead of anyone else, etc. Maybe I'm imagining it, but I think even Craig Irwin, like this guy, the entire interview, every time I ever see Craig Irwin, he sounds like a Tesla bull. And then at the end, he goes, oh, but somehow all this stuff that I said, I still don't think that's very positive for the company long term.
Hey, Craig, it's Brian Chung here. So a lot of people are looking at these two types of companies that announced their stock splits, Apple and Tesla. Another type of name that you might want to loop in there is Amazon as well, but their stock price around $3,500. Why isn't a company like Amazon going to follow suit? Would you expect companies like that to follow suit? What does that say, I guess, institutionally about the way that maybe their financial teams are approaching the stock prices when they watch their day-to-day changes?
Yeah, Elon is very, very market savvy. And I think the fact that he's one of the early movers and others are following is just something that underscores that he's on the bleeding edge, right? And Tesla's got ambition. He has a pay package that's tied to multiple milestones over the next several years, and I'm quite sure he expects to pull that entire pay package down.
Craig Irwin, that is music to my ears. I agree. If you guys haven't seen my video about Elon's huge compensation package, check out the link. I'll put a card in the corner. Very important for you to understand this if you're a Tesla shareholder and actually own the stock, because these are Elon's targets. This is what he's aiming for. And given Elon's track record of setting and achieving ambitious goals, reusable rockets, transforming entire industries, creating multiple billion-dollar companies, that kind of stuff, I would not want to be betting against Elon. Oh yeah, speaking of, don't forget to check out the merch store, guys. By the way, thanks again for the support. This month, the top 2 selling shirts seem to be predictors of the future. Don't bet against Elon and Tesla stock to the moon. So thanks for the support. Glad to see there's over 200 of these shirts now wandering around the world, hopefully sparking up some interesting conversations, maybe even creating a few new friendships. Let's get back to the video.
So we're just getting pieces of his business strategy to achieve that. And I think there's many more things to come from Tesla over the next several years.
Craig, it's interesting you just brought up that they're years ahead of competitors, yet we continue to see more and more new entrants to the space. Walk us through that, and how long do you think that competitive edge lasts? What is your more long-term thesis here for Tesla?
So I'm actually long-term bearish for Tesla, right? So I think, there's more than 400 EVs that are going to be on the road by the end of 2025. Many of those are redos for tier 1 OEMs that have done something and not really executed as well as expected. Porsche has a beautiful car with the Taycan, but the performance is just not there. Let's be honest. Many of those cars I expect to be successful. Some of those are from well-established brands or marks like Porsche or BMW or Audi, but many are from other companies that we're seeing fund quite successfully in this market. Names like Canoo and Fisker and Nikola that are not yet household names for a lot of America.
Let me know in the comments below, guys. Do you see Nikola providing any threat to Tesla, potentially eating away at some of their future market share, anything like that, providing any threat at all? Any other competitors, any companies at all that you can think of that you genuinely believe could provide a major threat to Tesla in the future? Because right now, from where I stand, as I've been saying for months and months and months, there's no competition. There is none. Everyone is going to be scrambling in a race to try to win second place, because that's all anybody's getting from here. Tesla has won the decade. Don't get me wrong. I wholly expect that the updated offerings, the second generation, the third generation from other automakers will be improvements upon the turds that they've released thus far. But the problem is, Tesla is moving faster than anyone else. Their lead is accelerating. So no matter how many iterations the other automakers have on their own vehicles, Tesla is going to be pulling away constantly, getting further and further and further in front.
Well, Fisker's been around for a while, but they've had, a lot of starts and stops. But let's get back, with Tesla, it's more than just the car though, right? There's the news about their software update with the autopilot system to detect speed limit signs, and also, those traffic cameras that some of us got speeding tickets a couple years ago. Don't want to admit to that too much. But there's more to Tesla than just the car. There's also just the battery technology. Would they ever sell that to other manufacturers?
Isn't it just wonderful to hear the mainstream finance and media now broadly understanding that Tesla's battery technology is actually an important piece of the puzzle?
So I know multiple people that have tried, including people with business relationships with some of the people on the board of directors or still on the board of directors. Even their own companies have been unsuccessful in procuring batteries from Tesla over the last many years. Tesla's using essentially everything that it can produce. I think the battery future is interesting. I don't think they have anything unique that Panasonic or LG or Li Shen doesn't have.
Just want to chime in here with a quick note for those of you that don't really understand Tesla's battery advantage. At this point in time, Tesla is buying battery cells from other manufacturers. What Tesla has, the advantage over other companies that could theoretically buy the same cells from Panasonic or LG Chem or CATL, is the way that they are assembled into packs and also how they're integrated into the vehicle. That includes things like thermal management. You're seeing evidence of this when Tesla pushes an over-the-air update that increases the range of their vehicle. They didn't install a larger battery pack. They figured out ways to manage that battery and other elements of the vehicle to improve the overall range. So this is the advantage that we're seeing from Tesla. It's not in the cells yet, but battery day is coming up. What do you guys think Tesla's going to be announcing? Spoiler alert, they're going to start making their own cells. When they do that as well, the advantage is multiplied because they're controlling every aspect of the battery.
I think, where they are differentiated and where investors are probably much more excited is around autonomous. So people spend $7,000 plus per FSD in a Model 3 today. There's expectations, Elon tosses out a $100,000 value in the future. That's aggressive, but if people believe, then they end up being wildly bullish on the stock. And I think that's a large part of the institutional participation over the last 6 months.
And Craig, I know that this seems like a million years ago, but if we rewind to the end of last year, it seemed like the biggest story for Tesla from a bear or bullish case was really what their numbers were going to look like in China. As the Chinese economy kind of gets restarted after all of this, I'm wondering, what have you seen on that front that provides either headwinds or tailwinds to their business model over the future?
So China is actually executing very, very well. It looks like the Model 3 will have a proportionately larger opportunity in China than the S and the X. So that will end up being a very important market for them. But one of the things that I pointed out to investors a few months back is India's next. There are plans for a facility in India that are being developed right now. They're in the process of choosing a site for the facility. India, I expect to be announced before the end of the year. That's a market that could be just as big as China and just as exciting as China. And this is one of the things investors are looking for.
That really is a massive bombshell. I don't know whether or not to buy it. I'm not sold yet, Craig. I haven't seen any evidence, but by the way Craig is talking there, he sounds very confident. He's not pulling this stuff out of his ass. He has information that implies that Tesla's actively looking for a site to develop in India, which will be announced this year as their next factory. Stranger things have happened. I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments. Do you think Tesla's actively looking and India's going to be the next location they announce a factory construction? My money's on further expansion in China before India, but time will tell. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget your free stocks with WeBull and Stake. The WeBull offer of 2 free stocks is ending this month. Yes, the offer is ending. Last chance to get 2 free stocks with WeBull using the link in the description. And if you're in Australia, the UK, or New Zealand, you get a free stock with Stake, also using the link in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.